Hello, hello. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is office hours for March 7th, 2024. I'm Rachel, for those of you I haven't met. Let me just see who's here. How is everybody doing? Doing good? See thumbs up. Hey, EG, how's it going? Hamilton, Shelly, good to see you. Christopher, Stephanie, yay, good to see you guys. All right, I know we've got some questions, bunch of things we want to cover. I want to cover some basics today as far as just getting your course set up. I know we got a couple of people at the stage of just getting things going, and we're going to go over some really basic how to get your initial setup done and how your students access the platform and things like that. And then we'll go through whatever you guys want to talk about. Who's got questions, just so I have an idea? Can you, okay, just kind of scanning through. All right. Okay, great. Melinda, thank you. I'm just kind of scanning through faces. I'm seeing hands, seeing physical and virtual hands go up. So we got lots of questions. Fantastic. All right, I'm seeing Shelly, you're just kind of here at the front of my screen. Why don't you guys go ahead and pop up a virtual hand if you have a question or something you want to talk about. You can also feel free to pop it in the chat for me. Pop me just like a summary of what you want to go over, because then I can get a sense of, I want to make sure we can get to as much as we can. So Luke's got questions. If you want to pop like an overview summary of your question for me in the chat, that'll let me kind of gauge what's going on and get to as much as possible. And
What
let's
if we have several questions?
Shelly, why don't you go ahead and start us off? How's it going?
Great. How about you? I'm excited.
Yay, good to see you here. You got your new account set up, so
yes, I'm very excited about that. Thank you
cool.
so much.
Yay.
And what I want to know though is I'm not even closely ready because I'm dismantling something, so I'm recreating something entirely new. And so I'm not sure where to begin because I don't know the content yet to even answer. I went on the other day and started answering questions. I can't answer those questions yet.
When you say answering questions, can you say,
It's like, what is your course? How long will it be?
oh,
Basics.
Yeah, our little onboarding flow where you start your account and a screen pops up and says, what's the name? How long? Okay.
Exactly.
No worries.
I am so not ready for that.
Okay, underneath all that, let's make this really easy. Underneath all of that, you're going to see a little link with an option that says something like, I don't know yet, just take me to my account. Click that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fill in all of the things at any time. There's a lot of things to think about, and we do our best to try to make it easy for you by just getting some basics taken care of up front. But if you don't know them off the top of your head, there's no reason you have to know them in this second. So
that means I probably would be premature to attend the 2 sessions with Stephen.
Is that like no, go ahead and attend the 2 sessions with Stephen, because that's designed to get you going.
I see.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
that
so there's so many, it's all so new, and that it's not only Xperiencify, I signed up with Momentum. So I'm like, there's a lot to juggle right now, dismantling a partnership, doing this. So there's a lot going on. I want to make sure that everything I approach is with my whole full heart,
Totally hear ya. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Go to your quick start sessions with Stephen if you just signed up, and yeah, you'll be invited to book those. And that's specifically designed to orient you to what you need to know and where you need to go. We can also go through some things here, because I know, like I said, we do have a couple of people who are in the pretty beginning stages. So I think that we'll go through some basics. I'm just gonna super quick scan through the chat. How do we, oh, that's your question. Who approves my course? Christopher, I think you're talking about, Christopher is asking who approves my course, who says what I can or cannot teach. We don't police that. I think, Christopher, you're talking about before you're able to publish your first course, there is like a, we have to manually approve it. We're just checking it to make sure you're not a bot that's going to flood our system with all kinds of spam and spam your students and create problems for us as a platform. It's just a check to make sure you're a real person. We're not monitoring what you teach. Does that help?
It's a bit wider, and that is like a sort of imposter syndrome. Like, am I worthy to do this? Who says I can't do this? So even though I'm certified in some stuff, it's like you still have these doubts. So, but good to know. Thank you.
Oh, got it. Okay, maybe you were asking something different than I thought. I thought you were asking about an approval process we have before you publish.
No, yeah, that's good to
You-
know as well. That's good to know as well. Yeah,
Okay.
that nobody's policing you. Yeah, and it's like I guess if you can shed some light on what would make someone feel confident to produce something and put it out there.
That is a fantastic question. It's probably more than we could really do justice to in an office hours. One thing I'm definitely gonna suggest is send you to our Facebook group to talk to a really freaking amazing community of course creators. And you'll find people at all levels from very new to very, very experienced and rocking it with very successful course empires. So I'm going to suggest heading over there and getting some community feedback on this. Does that feel supportive? I mean, I can certainly share from my perspective. I'm sure other people here can shed insight, but I definitely want to make sure we answer like the technical questions about the platform and how to use it is kind of our primary focus for office hours. We're welcoming it all because we want to just support you guys with what you need, but this is like this is a great and a big question. If anybody has feedback for Christopher that they want to put in the chat about overcoming imposter syndrome and just getting that first material out there, that would be awesome because I know there are people here. Just even seeing all the names on this call, you've got some really experienced, savvy course creators right here. So how's that feel, Christopher? Does that feel helpful for the moment? And if we have time, maybe we'll circle back around and talk more, talk about this type of stuff. But I know we got a bunch of like platform questions I want to see if we can get through. So, let me just check back in with Shelly. Shelly, are you feeling taken care of for the moment?
Yeah, I understand. I'll do Stephen's thing. I'll do it next week because I missed it yesterday. I didn't think it was time for me to go because I thought it was premature. But now that I'm understanding, see, it's hard when I get these different emails, come on this and come on that, and there's a training here and a training there. And now I've got all these momentum trainings. I'm not sure which one to do in order. And I don't want to, like when I started clicking the link about putting my course up, I didn't know what to answer. So
yeah, don't worry about the answers. I don't think there's really an order that you need to do the trainings in.
okay.
The office hours are here to, yes, you want to record that. The office hours are here to answer whatever questions our community has about how to move forward next. We'll talk about a lot of different platform stuff. You'll learn a lot if you want to hang out and listen to all the questions. But there's no order you have to go in, but go to your calls with Stephen. That'll orient, yeah.
Yeah, that I'm definitely going to do now. I get it. Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm gonna write that down. If I don't, I'll forget.
Totally. I'm
Ah.
seeing Sharon's got questions on steps 3, 4, and 5. We may just go through a broad overview for a few people that are looking to kind of get the whole flow of things. Adjusting email delivery if students are long. Give me a sec. I'm just scanning through questions in the chat here. Setting up a lead magnet, live launch date. All right, we got lots of good questions. We will go through as much as possible. All right, you guys, I'm gonna jump in with some basics because I'm seeing some questions in the chat, and I know I have a couple people, at least a couple people on today that are also just kind of trying to find the way around how to use everything. So I'm gonna go through some stuff first, and then I'll come back and we'll do as many questions as we have time for. But let me go ahead and share my screen and just give you an overview of inside your dashboard. And this is inside a course. On your left-hand side here, you've got your courses, our new templates. Your student section is where you can find your individual students and their activity logs. Inbox, your account is where you take care of your basic account information. The forum is our community space. This is where you modify the language of your course, and of course, our help center. So the biggest overview that you want to know if you're feeling overwhelmed, like, what do I do? How do I get a course up? Is to see that we've broken this down into 6 steps here. And I'll go through these real quick. The basics is just what it sounds like. Your course payment options is setting up your price and any discount coupons. 3, 4, and 5 is where the questions generally start. So in step 3 is where you're going to set up your course content. And you'll do that by adding like your regular modules and trainings. And you'll see here that I've created a module and I've created a training. And if I wanted to add more modules or trainings, I would just go ahead and add that. And then I've also got sections to add replays and sections to add bonuses. So step 3 here is where I would add my actual content. And there is, if you go to the Help Center and search for step 3, you'll get the breakdown of everything you need to know about that. And then I want to take a minute and look at step 4, because this is where our page builder is. If we open up step 4, this is where you're going to see a bunch of templates for different pages in your course. So the home page, for example, is where your students will land as soon as they purchase. We'll go in and look at some of these in a minute, but I just want to give you the overview. We've got your all trainings page, your single training page, your marketplace where your publicly available courses will be for people to purchase. And then we've got your order form for people to actually purchase your course. Then there's a whole lot of other options. You may have an all modules page. You might have replays and bonuses in your course. These are down here in a different section because your course is going to look how it looks. This first section up here is kind of the core basics. And if you're looking to keep it simple, this is what you need. Your homepage, your trainings, your single training. That's going to take your students through a really simple course. So for example, a lot of you are creating an EMC, an expiring mini course. This is what you need. Homepage, all trainings, single trainings, an order form. That's it. And I'm I'm sharing that because it can feel like, oh, there's all this stuff you have to set up. There's not. There's options for all kinds of pages you may want to set up. And you can also create custom pages and build in pages that look however you want. But because it can feel overwhelming when you're first jumping in, these core pages right here are what you need. And I'm going to take a sec real quick and just go into the home page. Here's just how our page builder works. When you hover over these content blocks, you'll see that you could delete a block if you weren't using it. So if I don't need a countdown timer in my course, I'm just going to delete this block. You've also got these controls to edit the content and edit the layout. Quick tip, if you want to go simple, because I'm going to keep giving you tips for how to keep it simple, because that's been a very, very big question lately, is people getting overwhelmed. If you want to keep it simple, don't worry about editing the layout. This is where you can get fancy with adding different columns here and making it look all different. But if you want to just get a basic course up, don't worry about editing the layout. Just edit your content. Over here on the left, you're going to open up this column 1, and you're going to see that you've got these different text fields where you will add the actual text that you want right here. Here's your headline. Right here on the home page, we suggest having a welcome video, which is like a 2-minute video that just reminds students of why they joined and get them excited. So you'll upload your video right here. And then you'll see a couple more blocks below: goals, some action items to get them going, and their first trainings. So if you're looking, again, to keep it simple and just get launched as soon as possible, keep in mind that we've set up these templates in ways that work, and ways that work really well for just quickly engaging students and getting them going and getting them into the course. So my big suggestion, if you're in here and you're like, I'm feeling totally overwhelmed and I have a zillion ideas, if you want to just get a course out, use the default blocks, put in your video, put in your welcome message, get it up, getting going. Then you can learn from there and get it all fancy as you get feedback from your students. Is that making sense? Questions about this so far? I know there were a couple of people, and let me see if I see you here, who just wanted like basic orientation for the page.
Where are those templates?
I'm sorry,
Where are the templates? That's Sapphire. I'm wondering, where are the templates? I am so lost in this whole process. I need therapy. But where are you looking, the templates? Where is that?
So what I'm looking at is step 4 of your course. So we're inside a course here. This is a test course. And again, we got step 1, 2, 3. And in step 4, this is where you get to those pages I was just showing that you can customize.
What is the web? What is the site? What is the experience? Where should I go to find that? I can't find anything. I'm sorry. Excuse
Okay, no
me,
worries, no
other
worries. Well,
participants.
we got you, Sapphire. Shoot an email to the support desk. Shoot a message to the support desk and just say, hey, I need my magic link to access my course creator account. And give us.
Okay, thank you.
And
All right.
we'll get you your magic link that will get you in to a dashboard that looks like this, and then you can go from there. Sound good? All right. I know it's a bunch.
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of steps. Yeah, you got it. A lot of steps and a lot of pieces to the steps. So that's why I'll kind of keep going back to an overview. So again, here's the 6 steps. So we were just looking at the templates in the pages. You can click on any page template to make it look the way you want it to look for your course. If you're keeping it simple, just stick to the basics. There's another big question that's been coming up as a basic thing, and that is, how do my students access all these pages? So the way your students are going to access any page in your course is through a menu at the top of your page. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. And after that, we'll move on to questions, and I'll just start going through the hands that I'm seeing up. So if I go back into my home page, for example, this is where my students are going to land as soon as they purchase my course. And I want them to be able to navigate to anywhere in their course. So basics here, they've got a home page and an all trainings page. If I want to add more pages for them to access, sorry, some construction just came on outside, and I don't know if that's affecting you guys being able to hear me. So just gonna get my sound fixed. If you want to add another page to your students being able to get to, say, your replays page, what we're going to do is edit this menu. Give me one sec while I untangle my earbuds. All right, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So we're editing your course menu right here. And let's say I want to add a page of replays. I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to add a link. And I'm going to call it replays, or I can call it whatever I want. And the destination for this page is going to be my all replays page. Then I'm going to close and I'm going to save that. Does that make sense? Now my students.
Not to me.
Sorry?
It doesn't make sense to me. I missed something in there. I don't understand what's going on.
Sure. Can you say more, Sharon? How can I make this feel clearer?
Could you just go through the replays and why we would do it? And
You would do replays if, for example, let's say you have a core batch of content, like your students go through training 1, 2, 3 on their own. But then let's say you also have group calls that are separate from the trainings that they go through on their own. And let's say you also want to upload replays of the group calls, but you want those in a different section. You don't want them like mixed in with their core content. Does that make sense?
it does. You know what? My head is in EMC mode, not my actual course. So, and I missed something. I was trying to respond to somebody in the chat. So, okay.
I'll go through it again real quick. Yeah, because this is important. The question that I've been getting a bunch was just, how do my students get to a place in my course? And the answer to that is they get there by your training, by your navigator menu up here on the top of the page. So if you have a page in your course that you need students to be able to get to, the way to make it possible for them to get to that page is going to be to add a link on your menu for them to go to that page. Does that make sense?
It does.
So if I wanted to make up a page and call it Sharon's
Bonuses?
Tips for an Amazing Life, I could create a custom page that says that, and then I would just need to add a link at the top of my menu here, and I would edit this menu. I would see my links here that I've already added. Here's my link to the home page. Here's my link to the all trainings page. My courses goes to my navigator. We added a replays page. And if I want something else, I have a new page I want my students to be able to access. I'm just going to click add link. I'm going to call it whatever I want.
Would bonuses make sense there or no? To add bonuses up there?
It absolutely could make sense to add bonuses up there. Yep. If you've got a separate page in your course or a separate section that's, oh, here's all your bonuses, could definitely do that. And we're going to go to the all bonuses page. And now your students can get to their bonuses.
Cool. Okay,
Make
thank you.
sense?
That
Yeah,
really helped me. Thank you.
Totally. No, this is a super common question. That's why I wanted to spend a minute on it, because this is the way your students get to anywhere they need to go, is you create them a link in the menu right here, and then they have a tab to click on.
I'm just curious why you chose all bonuses, links to all bonuses. I
All
don't quite,
bonuses will go to a page that would have like
your
all your bonuses. And then if they want to, they're like, oh, look at all these amazing bonuses, I want to go to that one. Then they click on it and they go to that one.
I have a quick question. Does the page default to home, all trainings and courses? We don't have to add those? Does it already have that?
Yes, and sorry, I can't
Okay,
see who's
perfect.
talking, but
Oh,
we are,
it's-
oh, there you are. Hey, Hamilton. Yeah,
So those three are already there. I don't have to add those three.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just need to put my course in the my courses.
You don't actually need to do anything with my courses. Where you are putting your course, by which I think you mean putting your content, is actually in step 3. This is where you're going to go, all right, I've got all these videos, I've got all this material to give to my students. I'm going to upload it into step 3.
Okay.
One likely way of setting that up would be, I'm going to create a few modules, and each module will have a couple of trainings. And in step 3 is where I'm actually going to upload all of my material.
Okay.
Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
Ask a quick question on that as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a participant guide that is embedded in like the welcome module, and also some resources that is further within the course. So is it possible to add, the participant guide and the resources there as well? And is that recommended, or is that overkill?
Okay, let me break this down. Who I'm looking for you.
It's
Who's
Melinda. It's
talking?
Melinda.
Oh, hey,
I'm
Melinda.
sorry.
How's it going?
Hi.
I don't see you, but
Good.
I can hear you, so all good. Okay, so you've got resources and something else, a guide.
Participant, it's called a PAR. It's a participant guide, yeah, that they use to work through alongside the videos and the information in the course.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like they might want to get that right away,
And
or
that's
like
been
with their first training.
exactly,
So
that's already been done.
okay.
Just have to get the correct one in there right now. But my question was just more, should I also make that available in that menu just in case somehow or other
I see. You certainly could. You could certainly create like a custom page that just has that doc, just in case they need to get to it,
Okay.
and then create a link up top and say, here's your guide. And sure, that would make it extra easy if you want to
Okay.
do that.
Okay. And in those in that resource guide, I have a fillable and I have a downloadable. Do I need to load them both in Xperiencify, or what are the constructs on that?
Well, you would need to load anything you want them to have, or you can link to an outside source. If you want to host a doc somewhere else, you can always do that too.
No, I want it within the course.
Okay.
Because it's proprietary for the course. But I just didn't know if they have a fillable, can they also download that as a printable? I mean, I have 2 versions, so, and I didn't create them. I invested in somebody to create those for me, so I'm not sure of the mechanics behind that. Do I just do one or the other, or do I put them both in?
You'd put in
Am I
whatever
making
you want them
sense?
to be able to download. I'm not sure I'm totally following. If you want them to download two things, you would put them both in.
I think my point is that some people like to print things out and write, and then
Mhm.
other people like to just use the computer and fill in. So I guess it's fine to just make them both available. They can do whatever it is they want to do.
I would think
I don't
so.
have to choose for them. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I would-
That's super helpful. Thank you
That
so
makes
much for that.
sense. Yeah,
All right,
of
thanks.
course. Cool. And since we're talking about resources, I'll just mention that when you are uploading your content into your training, you have this space here that will give you the tab to upload your actual video. And then over here, we have a tab called Downloads, which is where you could upload PDFs or other supporting materials for your course. So that's where that all is. So that's step 3, 4. Any other kind of basic overview questions of where to put your content and how to upload it before we move on?
May
Just make
it-
sure this is making sense. Yeah, Sharon,
Can
go
I ask
ahead.
a quick thing about 3, since we were just on it? Can they all be called, I've got a 3-lesson EMC. So I would like it to be called Module 1, Module 2, not Module 3, but how it shows up is Module 1, and then on top of the name of my program is called The Art of Acceptance. It shows Module 1, the name of my program, my EMC, and then it shows Training 1, 2, 3. I don't like how that looks. Could it be just the name of my program and module 1, 2, 3, or does it default into trainings under one module? It just looks confusing.
The trainings are where your actual video will live, but you can you can change the wording to be what you want. If you want to call them modules or trainings or lessons or anything else, you can change all of that.
Okay, so can I remove the module 1 above my course name as it shows up on when I go into step 3?
Can you share your screen and show me what you're looking at? So
I hope so. I'm trying. It's disabled.
Okay, let me just go ahead and get out this. All right, see if you can go ahead and share. There you go.
Okay, so let me go into step 3. Can you see this? You know what? This is confusing me because of there we are. Can you see where it says module 1 up here, Rachel, and then training 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, if you want, your students don't ever have to see module 1.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How do I get rid of it?
Actually, if you just use the basic templates that we were looking at, your students will have an all trainings page that's just going to show the trainings. And it's not going to show the modules.
Okay, so there's not a place to remove it here.
This is just your end. Your students aren't seeing this. This is just for you.
Right. Okay. Okay, so that would be in step 4 course pages.
Exactly. Yeah.
So would it be under all trainings or
Yeah,
home?
your all trainings page is where your students are going to see all of their trainings. So if you just click on that, just go ahead and
Where
click
do I
to open
click?
that up.
Oh, it's
Yep.
there. Oh, this is so helpful.
So here's what your
Module-
students are going to see. It's going to
Yeah,
look a
see, I
little
don't like
different.
that. Module 1, training 1, module 1, training 2.
You can take that all out. Go ahead and click on edit content in the right there. Yep. Now click the data menu. There we go. Scroll down. See where it says, go up just a little bit where it says pre-title, module number, training,
Right.
training number. You can edit. First, let me tell you that the part in tokens is being automatically populated, but especially for a course this short, you don't necessarily need it automatically populating the numbers in. You could always just write it into the actual title of the course. I'll tell you more what I mean in a second, but you can customize this line right here. Go ahead and just delete module. Just delete the word module over on the far
Here?
left there. Yes. Go ahead and just delete that. So you just took that away. And you can go ahead and delete module number if you want. I mean, you do want, because we don't need that.
Sorry, what did you say? Take this piece out,
Yeah,
the
go ahead
module
and take
number?
that token out. There you go. Is that getting closer to what you want?
Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, yay.
While we're here, see that little green box on the right? You can click on that and make it the color that you want.
Of course, it has to be purple.
Of course.
Okay.
That making sense?
Yeah, I was good about the color stuff. Okay, this is good.
Cool.
Yay.
I got a quick question. Does the color
Awesome.
change after they touch on it and go through the training? Does the color change? Like if they touched on training 1, does it change? You know how you go onto websites and you've already, gone on.
No, it does not. But we've
Okay.
got plenty of stuff going on with the points and the actions to indicate that they've done the training. So there's
you.
plenty of like feedback, I think, is the bottom line here. All right, cool. Thanks for those questions, guys. If this is feeling good, let me move on to, I know we have just a whole bunch of questions going on. Let me go ahead and just jump over to EG on the top here.
Morning. I
Hey.
have a client that I would argue against what they're wanting to do, but they have a, no login for 2 weeks, but then they still want to send emails and have the emails for subsequent trainings pushed through after the no login.
Sorry, I'm not sure I'm following. Say it again.
So there's one of the engine pieces is, like they get an email, you haven't logged in for a week.
Right.
And the way that they're set up is they're set up on specific dates to release the information, but they basically, even though they're getting an email saying, you haven't logged in for a week, go in and log in, they still want to push through emails for the other modules and still have the no login. So they want to like double up on the emails to kind of, and I'm like, that's a bit bombarding, right? I mean, if they're not opening, why do you keep telling them to open and send them new stuff to open if they're behind? Right.
It
So I guess
certainly could be a lot. Yeah.
so if they insist on it, is there a way to build that in, even if it's against
Sure.
best practices?
Sure. The student will get the release emails unless you tell the system to not send them the release emails. So yeah, that's absolutely possible.
But do you have like is there an article? Because I know like you guys have done a really good job with having blog articles on, best practices and recommendations. Is there something in there that I might be able to share with them to say, this isn't recommended, because they're just going to get flooded with emails in the inbox and that's going to be a bad user experience?
There's not a specific doc on recommending that, but you already know. I mean, you can, yeah. I
know, and but sometimes it's a matter of, they need to hear from somebody else, right?
Let me think. I mean, I'm sure we can write you something if it's helpful. Yeah, I would just just let them know we don't want to spam students. It turns them off.
Yeah, because I mean, like I get like a second follow-up or something after the first week in case for some reason they didn't get the email or they were away or something, but to keep sending the you haven't logged in email plus the module emails, just
yeah, that could definitely get to be a lot pretty fast. Yeah. Yeah.
And then good luck in getting that internal ascension to get them to do something else if they just think they're going to get bombarded with emails, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let them know it's best practice if students aren't responding to not flood them. And I don't know, maybe this will help. It affects us too. Like if we get too many, spam complaints, that starts to affect the platform. Fortunately, we have a lot of checks in place to avoid that, but yeah, it's not a good idea to overwhelm students or anybody with emails, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. I don't know.
Thank you.
I'll see if we can write you a doc and see if that helps. Make it official. Kelly, how's it going?
Great. Nice to meet you, Rachel.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm just trying to get a lay of the land as I'm getting a lead
Yay.
magnet 5-day challenge going here.
Okay.
So question for you on the homepage, totally understand that that's what they'll see first, but in terms of best practices, I'm assuming the homepage is different than that get started page that's already in the templated when you go into, I think it's step 3, putting in your course material. There's kind of like a get started one, like a get started video that's already in there.
Sorry,
So-
sorry to pause you. I'm just not sure. I want to make sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you talking about something that students will see or something you as the course creator
Is
will
all
see?
what students will see. I'm talking
Okay.
about all the students' experience here.
Okay.
So I get that the homepage is now the first thing when they sign up. Ta-da, here's the video and they see it. When I go into the course creation part where I'm uploading videos, there is like a get started recommended template. I can delete that. But I guess I'm wanting to do like a get started. Here's what you need to know about the course. I'm trying to decide whether I do that on the homepage or the get started page, and I don't want to duplicate. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. I would need to
Okay.
look at this get started page because this sounds like something in the new templates that I'm not familiar
Okay.
with. Do you happen to have it to pull it up so I can see what you're working on?
I think I do. Hold on a second. I think I could find it. Yeah. So
Not.
under, well, hold on, because maybe,
Mhm.
yeah, let me share my screen because maybe where
Mhm.
I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing here. So when I go into like adding the course content, can you see this?
Yes.
You see under module 1, it says get started here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, okay, so maybe the get started here, that's not a video, is what I'm thinking now.
Well, what I'm looking at is just the title of a module called
Got
Get Started
it.
Here.
Got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm assuming then that really helpful that it's the homepage where on that video, it should be like, hey, this is what you need to know. These are all the things to have a great experience and get the results you want.
Yeah, and this is a great question. We encourage keeping the welcome video pretty short and sweet and to the point with getting them excited. Depending on
Okay.
how much content you need to give them to know whatever they need to know. And did you say it's an EMC? So it'll be pretty quick?
Well, yeah, it's a 5-day challenge. So I think-
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
thinking, like, there's a balance here of like, yeah, we want them to know what they need to know, and it's great to not overload them with a ton of stuff. The
Right.
general idea for the welcome video is like a short, sweet, look how excited you are to be here and get going, boom.
Right.
If there's
Okay.
a lot that they need to know, you might consider putting that in a separate little video in one of the actions, like the standalone actions,
Okay.
which is kind
That's
of a different experience. They watch a super quick video, they check it, they get a point, woohoo. And then
Yeah.
it's like, hey, here's your first step. Here's some quick instructions. Check it again, get another point.
Okay, that's helpful in terms of having it as a first step. So I want to think about that. In terms of whether I was going to not have it evergreen, I was going to have it at dates where we all go through together on the 5-day challenge.
Uh-huh.
With setting up the drip, I see how the drip is set up with once they sign up, then it's a day after. But if I actually want it on a
one way.
specific date,
Totally. you can do that.
I'm assuming I have to then do it on a specific date, not just a drip day 1 after, or maybe it's just the first video that starts on a specific date. Is that how it works?
There's a few options. Yeah, it can be what we call X days, which would be one
Mhm.
day after they sign up, they automatically
Yeah.
get it, and so on. There's by date, you can release content.
So I assume I would do the by date for the first day, and then well, I guess I could do it either way. For the second day, third day, I could either do it by X day that comes after that date, or
Well,
do
is-
dates, or do I have to keep it same?
It would need to be one content release style.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm sorry, you said you're doing it live on set dates, so it sounds
Yeah.
like you would just do it by date then.
Okay. Got it. That's really helpful.
For
Then in
something
terms-
this short,
Yeah.
let me give you another option. For something that's just
Yeah.
5 days, it might be just as simple. You can also, you can have modules or trainings in draft mode and the students won't see it. And then you can manually just click it to immediately, and now they do see it. If we're talking 3 to 5 days and you're doing it live anyway, it could be just as simple to just manually turn it on.
Okay, great. 3 more questions. The custom
Yeah.
branding. I
Mhm.
saw where you just had that little square where you were showing, I forgot her name now, who wanted to get rid of the module 1 training one and the color. Is there a way to just generalize the whole course to say, these are generally my colors, so we
We-
don't have to go through page by page?
On our list as a feature request. I agree, that would be fantastic. Not at the
Okay.
moment, yeah.
Okay,
Right
good
now
to know.
it's-
I was,
yeah.
okay, it's on my wish list.
Mhm, mhm.
And then the third one was that where do I find the email and like the text nurture sequence? And maybe there's just an email nurture sequence, but then how do you embed the texts too, if you wanted like a text reminder?
Yeah, that's all gonna be in step 5
Okay.
of your course.
Okay, great.
I'll just go ahead and. So we went through step 1, 2, 3,
Mhm,
4 real
mhm.
quick. Step 5 is where you add, first of all, celebrations for your students.
Mm.
And then what we call the experience engine, which is where you can add emails and texts.
Okay. And specifically, Rachel, that would be under when user added to the course.
So what you're looking at here is 3 automations that I already have inside this
Okay,
course. I could
got it.
also add new ones by creating them right here.
Okay.
If I was going to create a new automation, I could go to the playbook where our brilliant CEO Murray has a whole bunch of things that he has written that are amazing, and you can just click to add and adapt one of those. If
Okay.
you want like a sequence for, I mean, the welcome emails in there, of course, but also, you know, a sequence for a rescue campaign or whatever you want. But if I wanted to create my own, I could just do that too.
Brilliant. Okay, that is awesome. And then I'm just assuming that, the bonus, you mentioned, I understand now how to have the bonus. Can you drip that bonus out? Like, let's say there's a promise that once they finish at day 5, then they get a bonus. Can you have that bonus come out on said date? Or just as soon as they get the course, they get the bonus?
Yes, let's go. There's actually multiple different directions we could approach this from, but let's say
Okay.
as easy as possible.
Thinking the simplest one,
Yep,
my
me
request,
too.
Rachel.
I'm gonna go to bonuses. I'm gonna add my bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So the way the bonuses are set up, just FYI for everyone, there's basically like the bonus is the kind of the parent container, and then there's actually going to be a bonus training within the bonus. So let's say you have a certain bonus on a particular topic and you might have a few trainings within it that are all part of that bonus. So the bonus training, if we go here and we edit the bonus training, that's going to have a release date, just
Right.
like any piece of content. And that release date could be on a specific date, or it could be after X days.
Okay. And then Rachel, I'm assuming if we go into the step 5, the secret sauce, that's where we might create a part in the sequence, an email saying, hey, your bonus is available today.
So if we go
Okay.
into step 5,
Mhm.
there's a couple ways we could do this. We're going to create from scratch here. So I'm going to
Mhm.
think about, what do I want my starting trigger to be? What do I want to have happen that makes this email get sent?
Yes.
One option, a simple option, would be a date and time.
Okay.
But just FYI, another option could be they actually completed a specific training, meaning they checked off all the action steps.
That's awesome, Rachel.
Soon
That's
as they do that, makes sense?
yeah, that's
And
brilliant.
I'll go through this one. I'll show this one just because we just added new branched pathways, and that can make it look a little intimidating for a sec, but I promise it's not. Here is my starting trigger. If user completes getting started training,
Mhm.
I have an option here that says who should go down this path. This is one of those things for everybody. If you're trying to keep it simple, tune me out for a minute and just leave it on the default. But just so you know, if you have different fun things going on and you've got different groups in your course, maybe I don't want all of my students getting a bonus. Maybe I only want my VIP students getting a bonus.
Rachel, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this because this is brilliant that you have branching.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that, let's say, you could also branch off for a student who finished your course versus a student who didn't finish your course, which answers the student who was asking a question about being overwhelmed with emails. If you branch it, it makes it a lot cleaner experience and a much more user-friendly for each individual. Like, you would have a different email sequence for someone who didn't finish the course versus who did finish the course.
You bet. You can do a huge amount of stuff with tags. So
Okay.
basically you can tag your students this or that, or not this or not that. And if you want to, you can create different results from this trigger based on whether they have a tag or don't have a tag.
Brilliant.
So that's the fancy version, but I'm gonna, again,
Yeah.
let's see, can we
And
bring that
Rachel,
back to
is
the
there
default?
training on that? Is there any video training on that? The tags and
No, I don't think so, not yet anyway.
okay. Okay. That's
But
great.
basically, you're going to tag them however you want if you are doing that.
Mhm.
And then the next step is you're just going to add your action, which in many cases is going to be sending an email or sending an SMS.
Okay.
All kinds of other fancy things you can do here, but in most cases, you'll send them an email, you'll send them a text, or you'll have a timer going on. Maybe you want to send them one email, then add a delay of a day, and then send them another email.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. Thank you so, so much for your time and your expertise, Rachel.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you, Kelly. Last thing to remember about this is make sure to turn all toggles to go before or when you are ready. Nothing will work until everything is on green.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for the questions. Let's keep going. All right, I see we are at the top of the hour. I can hang out for a bit and keep taking some more questions. If you guys want to stay for a bit longer. Rhonda, Hi.
Yes, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. This is perfect timing because I do have a meeting here in a few minutes, but hopefully it'll be a quick question.
Awesome.
So I have a course that I've already launched. It is a live coaching course,
Okay.
and I'm wanting to launch like a second group in the future into the same course, but they will have obviously like a different countdown timer. They'll have a different, kickoff meeting. So different data will be on that homepage. So I'm just trying to figure out the best, most efficient way to branch the second group so they can get the main course material the same, but a different homepage. Is that possible?
It is. The simplest solution would just be to duplicate the course and
I
put
was
the new
trying not to do
students.
that though, because one of the benefits I'm trying to offer my clients is once they buy the course, they get all of the additional updates and future upgrades. And that wouldn't, I don't want to keep doing that in multiple courses.
Okay, yeah. Let me totally gotcha. One suggestion we do for this is rather than creating endless variations of the course, you have one course and then you have an alumni course. And after they have finished course A, they get moved into the alumni course, which is for everybody who's ever completed it. Then you just do one round of updates in the alumni course and they get everything. And you can change the structure of course A to do all the updates that you want. So that would be my recommendation. You can absolutely create whatever you want students to see based on tag. So
Okay,
you can tag a block to only be visible to students with a particular tag. So that means that if there's a block that's not relevant to a group of students, you can have them tagged or not tagged so that they don't actually see that block.
And you're talking a content block on a page.
A content block on a page, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tag so certain students can only see the whole page versus another whole page? So I could have like homepage for launch date February 12 and homepage for launch date April 15.
Sure. Yeah, you can tag whatever you want them to see. It would be either by individual block. Like if you want everybody to see a whole page, the simplest way I'd see to do that would be to put a tab on your navigation menu up top that is only visible by tag. If I'm in course A, I can see a link on the top of your navigation menu that takes me to the page for course A. If I should be in course B, I don't see that link, but I see a link on the top of your navigation menu that takes me. It can't be a different home page. If you're talking home page, that's where the students like land when they come into the course. So that would be done. I mean, it works out to the same thing. They're going to see a different page, but you would do it by recreating the blocks of that page. You would have a separate set of blocks for each.
So in
group of
essence,
students.
but that means what I'm seeing as an admin when I'm creating it on the homepage, I'm going to have ideally like maybe a year or two from now, I'm going to have like dozens of blocks on there, which might drive me
That's
crazy.
why I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. I would
Right, am I
recommend
following
putting
you?
them
Okay.
in an alumni course rather than recreating multiple blocks over and over again.
Okay. So there isn't a efficient way to have when someone buys the course, tag them on a certain date, and then have them only see one homepage. Can I not create a homepage and make that
If
page
they're
visible?
in the same course, they will land on the same page, but they can see whatever you want them to see or not see on that page.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll get in there and play around with it.
Awesome. Cool. Stephanie.
Sorry, I was muted.
No worries.
I have a bunch of questions for you. I just signed up, let me preface this by saying I am a lab student with Marisa. And so I'm not in momentum.
Okay.
But
Cool. What you got?
I do like how because I use it with labs, so I understand how the platform works as you use as an audience member, right? What the audience sees and experiences. And I really like that. So my first question is about payment options. Do students have to pay through the platform, or can
Nope.
they pay else? No, they
They
can
can
pay
pay elsewhere.
elsewhere, and then I can get them and how do, okay, so then I would go to the help thing to figure out how to give them free access.
I'll give you the short answer. Yeah, we use Zapier. Do you know the platform Zapier? It's a tool that connects different software tools. So the way it works is they will purchase in whatever platform you want to use. You'll set up what's called a Zap in Zapier. And that means that as soon as they purchase in your payment processor or your shopping cart, they will automatically be added to your course in XP. And they can get a welcome email automatically that says, hey, you just got added to the course in XP. Here's your link to click, and they're in the course. So it's pretty seamless. If you go to the help center and just search Zapier, it'll walk you through that.
Okay, awesome. That was my first one because I hate Stripe. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not a fan of it. And then can you differentiate the difference for me quickly between a module and a training? So a module is just like a group of trainings, and then the training is the training. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So if I want to, because I'm calling my program, I have 5 different modules, and within that module, there will be X amount of trainings. So, okay.
Yeah.
Understood. And then, gosh. Oh, and then I think you answered the other big question I had, where you said the welcome video is where they're going to land. And that's where I say, hi, I'm so happy you're here. Congratulations for purchasing, blah, 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 blah. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do. And then because I have an introduction that is about 5-ish minutes long, but you said you could do that as a standalone when they first get in there, right?
Yeah, if it's more in depth than a quick welcome.
Yeah, it is. It's like this is how you're going to consume the material.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more beefier and robust. Okay. Those were my big outline questions right this moment. And thank you. I appreciate your help, and it's been so great being here today. So thank you for all of your insight and knowledge. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for being here, Stephanie. Good to see you. I'm gonna scan through the chat super quick. I know we have loads of questions still going on, so I'm gonna see if I can hit some of the key ones, or if we have similar things. Cruise my course. No, not
Rachel,
possible.
I've got to run to another meeting, but I asked questions very early on. If I could maybe just get some answers.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
Second, please. You cannot do more than one order form for a course. It'll be one order form per course. And I'm just looking for your questions, Melinda.
They're up at the top, very top.
Melinda, you can do customized certificates. You can do certificates at the end of a course. We have that now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. She said, I was told that you all didn't have that. So it'll populate just like when they get their name. Hi, Jean. That was a terrible example. Hi, Jean. Jean Monroe. Your name goes in the, okay, super. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just go to the help center and just search certificate, and that'll walk you through.
Okay, I'm having somebody do this for me because this is not my wheelhouse, Rachel, but I'm not sure that I'm either explaining myself correctly or they're understanding me correctly, but I keep asking and I keep getting told, no, you can handwrite something in, but it doesn't name populate. So that's good to know. And so that's under certificates, right? I can direct them to that. Leaderboard, do we not have a leaderboard either?
No, but you can do that on your own. You can just take the info from the back end and just make it public for your students. So no, there's no built-in thing, but you
Okay.
can accomplish the same thing. Just
Okay,
looking at the rest
so
of your questions here. Yeah, go ahead.
the last and the biggest one was I thought we were in the home stretch, and the screen was shared with me going through everything. I had said I sent revisions, but they weren't done. I was told resend them. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. But I thought I would, just go through the magic link, what the student sees. I'm logging in as a student, and I'm looking and I'm still not seeing the revisions made. Although when I was reviewing the
Melinda,
document
let me
with
jump in.
them,
Let me jump in. Are you talking about
Yeah.
a done for you project that Marina was working on with you?
no. I'm way beyond that. I'm working with someone else who is making the revisions based upon the pilot program that Marina did for me. So
Okay,
I've hired someone else.
gotcha. Okay.
I just can't understand why they showed me a revised document. And then when I log in with the magic link, I'm still seeing the old document. I want to see what my student sees.
Create a test student with a different email than your admin email and add yourself to your course. To do that, if you
We've
go
already
to the,
used 2 of my emails. I don't have any more emails to use.
in most email servers, you can add a plus sign to the end of your email like this.
Okay. Thank you.
If my email is Rachel@Xperiencify, but I create an email like this, I just put it in the chat, Rachel
I'm
plus
not
March
seeing what you're
7th.
doing.
If
I'm
you
not
look at
seeing
the
what you're doing.
chat, look at the chat.
Oh, I have to refresh. Rachel plus March 7th. Okay, super.
That is going
And
to
that's-
act like a brand new email for the purpose of something like creating a student, but it will still go to my Rachel@Xperiencify inbox. So most email servers, Gmail does it. So if you don't have a Gmail account, get one
do.
for free. And now you've got
do.
an infinite number of emails to use.
Okay, so just ask them to type that in to send me so I can view it, because that's
So
how this
just
is working.
create a test student. I'm
I'm not
gonna
sure how to
send
do
you a
that,
help.
Rachel.
No worries, because I'm gonna send you a help doc and tell you exactly how.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so you're gonna create an email for yourself, a new email
Okay.
address that you haven't used, and then
Right.
I'm just sending a doc in the chat now
Okay.
for how to manually add a student to your course. So you're gonna add your test student to your course,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to make sure that your welcome email is turned on in step 5 before you add your test student. And that means that it's going to send a welcome email to that test student.
Right.
And you're going to log in from a different browser and go through the course, and you'll see exactly what a student will see.
Beautiful. I have been working on this for 2 days and saying I'm not getting any different course, even though we viewed a different course. So apparently they've got the admin portion open,
Okay.
which I have to have a new
Yeah.
login in order to see the updates.
Well, no, not to see the updates, but it is a good idea to see exactly what a student sees. We definitely recommend doing that before you launch.
Well, if the updates were done and I'm not seeing them, then using the magic link that was created for me, why am I not able to see the updates?
I can't say that without looking at your course. That sounds like you need to look at the course and talk to the person who was supposed to make the updates.
I have talked with them over and over. I keep sending emails and
Yeah, but I'm saying,
trying to
Melinda, this doesn't
explain.
sound like something I can answer for you because you're asking me
Okay.
why updates
right.
weren't made. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, clear your cache. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Melissa.
Hi.
Hey.
First, thanks for the templates. That was kind of a nice
Oh, cool.
surprise
Yeah.
drop.
Awesome.
So I'm wondering how I can, two things. I want to copy one of my courses into an evergreen, and I maybe I'm missing it, but I just don't know where to do that in the dashboard.
There should be an arrow up top. Let's see, it might have moved. There should be an arrow up at the top of your, oh, no, open up your course. Let me think where. I think we moved this around.
So I'm on the courses.
I found it. Here it is.
Okay.
Things move. We update a lot if you haven't noticed. And things move a
No
lot.
worries.
Okay. So up here, see this thing that says published? Just hover over that and click duplicate.
I would have not seen that. Okay.
Right?
And then any suggestions on, so I'm running a course right now live and I want to
Okay.
evergreen it. Any
Okay.
suggestions on like evergreen, just, I'm going to go and I'm going to replace some of the bonus secret sauce triggers, right? And make them as evergreen as possible. Will they trigger, like, I'm just worried about the like in 7 days trigger, or in, that they're not date specific. Right now, everything I'm doing is date specific. So when I go to change those triggers to make them like time past specific, like, can I mix and match those things? I guess I'm nervous about the triggering in evergreen. Do you have any
I hear
suggestions?
ya. Yeah, it sounds like you might want to just delete the old triggers once you're done with them, and then they're not firing anymore, and just create new ones. Am I hearing you right there?
No, I think I'm just like, so
Or you have two sets of students at once. Some of them are live and some are evergreen, and you're in the same course.
that's why I want to duplicate the course. So the
Good
live
plan.
ones are not
Yeah.
in the other one. But I guess my question is, as somebody like signs up, here's my question. How well do the timing triggers work? Because if it's not on a specific date, like if someone signs up in February 15th, right? They're going to get like day 1, week 1 of February, right? So
Well, depending how you have your release set up is the first question. Everything is very, very customizable. Let's start there. And if you say more,
I get it. Yeah. So right now they're set up by date. And to turn them evergreen, I have to set them up by time past. But my modules are month-long modules. So if somebody starts on February 15th, it's going to open up the entire February module, but then they're going to get like time past things. So maybe it's just a schema issue that I just am kind of stuck on, but I just didn't know if you had any evergreen, like, suggestions.
Yeah,
and it might be a bigger question that you can't answer in a tech call like this, but it's just.
No, I think I hear what you're asking, and let me make sure. There's two things we're thinking about here. There's the actual release of the content, which happens in step 3. Like a training is either available or it's not available to a student. It's either in draft, totally unavailable, or it's immediately totally available, or it's set to release at a certain time. So there's that. And then another thing that might be coming into play here is automated emails that could be based on or working in conjunction with the release of content. Making sense so far? I just want to distinguish.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you're talking just about the release of content, if we're just talking about step 3, when you say you want to be concerned about like the triggers, if we're just talking about the release of content, basically it will be released however you're telling it to, regardless of when. The simplest
someone signs
answer
up.
to your question is I would probably not recommend leaving students in a course that's halfway done and making tweaks to release dates, just because it's going to get confusing. I mean, there's always going to be an answer, but the answer to exactly what is happening for this student for this training is going to depend on exactly what happened for that student for that training. To make it simpler, I would probably separate them. Does that answer or no?
Yeah, no, I think it does. It just means that like people aren't gonna start, like right now my trainings release on Sundays,
Okay.
right? Every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So it just means that like if somebody signs up on a Monday,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna get their first module and then their stuff's gonna release on Mondays, because I'm gonna say from today plus 7 days. And then from there plus 7 days. And so what I'm asking is, are those 7 days from module to module stacking? Like, how do I make sure that they're releasing each week is releasing 7 days from their last module release? Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm not sure. Let me check. Is the question about how many literal days to type in when it says after X days? Sometimes people aren't clear whether it's 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, or whether they just type in 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. Is that your question or totally not?
That would be a great follow-up question, but my
Yeah.
question is, do the time lapses, are they sequential? Do they stack? Is it per module? Do you see like,
Let's look at this. I think this is gonna make more sense
Because-
if we.
because if I say, oh, the next module is in 7 days, it's 7 days from sign up, from when they buy the actual course. And when they
Okay.
go to the next module,
First question
Is it-
is, let's work this out. First question is, what content release specifically are you using? Like typically the first one would be available immediately in
yes,
most cases.
yes. And then the next one would come 7 days after their sign up.
7 days after their sign up. Okay, so after X days
Right.
is the next one.
Mhm.
And then the next one is going to
Mhm.
be after 14 days.
Got it.
And then
Okay.
this one.
And then even if I skip to another module, I can just keep adding on to those 7. It's taking it, they're all that was my question. So the time is going to take it from sign up time, and I'm not just adding 7 days, I have to add it that way. Okay, I got it.
Makes sense? Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Yeah, no, that comes up a lot. So
I
that's
just
what it
didn't
would
know
look
if it
like.
skipped from module to module or not. And again, like you said, I didn't know if it was like plus 7 days, if it's counting from that module or counting from the very beginning. So yeah, that
From the very
totally
beginning.
clears it up and answers my
Awesome.
question. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. Cool. All right. How are we doing? We covered that, Melissa? You good? Anything else? Okay. Heather, how's it going?
It's going well, except that my video is not working, and this has never happened before. It's like
No
I keep,
worries.
so
I
it
can
shows
hear
like my
you.
picture, but it's not showing my video. And I even logged out and logged back in, and I can't get it going. But I
All
was just
good.
hoping that, and you've been such a help, Rachel. I want to thank you because
Oh, I'm so
I've
glad.
emailed into support, and out of all the people that had emailed back, because I had a lot of questions, you were the most like on point and direct and like gave me what I needed.
Oh, I'm
So
glad
I
to
want to
hear.
thank you for that. I was like, she's on the ball, girl.
Glad to
But
help. It's a lot.
would
I
it be
know.
possible for me to share my screen so we could kind of go over some page builder stuff? Because I've been
Sure.
figuring a lot of stuff out, But I think
Sure.
a lot of these folks, you know, once they get into the page builder, I don't know what the percentage on the call is of how many people have started working with the page builder.
Yeah,
Which
go for it.
first
Share
of
your
all, you
screen.
have to
Yeah.
click the video button. It says like, watch this video. And if you don't click that, you can't get into the page builder. Like you have to click, okay, I got it.
Yeah,
And I
we're
didn't
short on
know
time,
that.
so let's go ahead and dive in. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen and
Great.
we'll go.
Perfect. All right, let me share my screen. All right, let me see here. I'm on Edge, Microsoft Edge instead of my normal Chrome. Okay, so I think this is, nope, that's not the one. This is the one. Okay, so these are my two courses. And this one, let's see. So I went to step 4 and I went to home. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I did this, and then like this used to be very large and it actually had all of this text over it. And because I didn't know, can you move the text up and down? Like there's a spacer thing over here
Absolutely.
when I'm in a different screen, and
Yep.
it didn't allow me to do that. Is that something I just missed that I can't do, or is it something I can do?
What are you trying to do?
In other words, all of this text up here was on the picture. And it was like, because of these waves, like there's some darker parts, like you couldn't read the headline. So I moved everything up here instead. But my first question is, could I have moved this text that was over the picture up or down? Like, can I adjust the
Yes.
positioning and
Go
the
ahead and,
spacing?
yeah, hover over the waves block and click edit content.
Okay, let me move this chat thing. Okay, edit content.
Uh-huh.
And I have the congrats, you made it, which I wanted to be above, which I'd love to know how to move it.
Okay, go to column 1 and click on the left-hand side.
Okay, remember.
And now you'll see that you see text and, okay, looks like you, okay. Looks like
I
you've
deleted everything
taken a
and put
bunch
it up
out.
here.
But I can show you, but still, click on text to open that one up.
Yeah, the congrats, you made it. And I wanted
Yep.
to put that actually above.
Okay, so put your cursor in that text field at the end of
Okay.
it. Yep. And now just hit return, start hitting return. And keep going. So you can change spacing around, the first thing to know, just by hitting return here.
Okay.
You can, of course, change the color of your text by hitting that little black square to your right and making it any color you want to help it with showing up more.
Got it.
Obviously, some backgrounds are going to be harder than others to make text appear. So waves is not going to be the easiest to make text really pop, but you can make the text bigger or smaller or make lots of changes as far as how that actual line of text is showing up.
I did kind of fool around with, adding like what you just showed me, the spacing. Is there any other way to do it, or is that pretty much it?
To do what?
To like adjust this so it's up or down, so it's like not right in the wave, so you could actually see it, which I ended up moving everything up. But like,
well,
other than just like doing this, is there another way to do it, was my question.
The text fields that you deleted that were there before would have given more options to do the same thing. So basically, you've got lines of text and you can put space around that text. And the more space you put around a piece of text, the more you're going to adjust that picture, the size.
So like you can put a space here and then you can put a space there, but that's the only way to do it. Is that correct?
I'm not following what else you're trying to do.
Just like, in other words, I built a website and I could take this and move it anywhere I want it, but it doesn't appear that that's in the page builder. Is that pretty much true?
You could create separate columns. That is getting to another layer. This is where if you are trying to just get launched and get things built, I would recommend just sticking with the basics. but
Got
you
it.
can, I probably won't take the time for this today just because of time, but you can also go into the edit layout button and you can completely customize the number of columns you have, which is going to change where and how the text is appearing. But that you would get to that by going out of this page, by closing out in the upper right-hand corner of the entire screen.
Oh yeah, up here.
Yep.
Now, my other question is like, this was a big picture and it shrunk it way down. And how can I fix that so it shows the entire picture?
Well, it would have been bigger with the, there were some text fields that you deleted there, so that would
Correct.
have made it bigger. And then the other way would be to add the spacing like we were doing.
Okay, and how would I do that?
By hitting return around the text.
Ah, okay. What if I don't even, I'm probably going to even take this text out. So then what would I do? Just have it blank?
You can do that if you want. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is I would just, well, maybe I should just do this. And that will like just show the whole picture by just keep doing this.
Correct. You can do that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah.
I was like worried I wasn't going to be able to figure this out, but that worked beautifully.
Awesome.
Okay. Nice. I feel so much better now.
Cool. Love it.
But yeah, I thought people would getting the feel for the page builder was not that easy. And I'm just really glad that you showed me what to do because I was confused. So if I did want to take that one line, congrats, first name, you made it. Like, how would I put that like above here? I would just go to like edit layout or edit content or.
Go to edit content.
Okay.
But I think you're on the, oh no, you're on the right one. Okay, go to column 1.
Okay.
Click to open that. Oh, you're on the, oh, what do we got here? Oh, you've got a block. Okay, so click headline. And put your cursor in front of the first bit of text. Yep.
Yep,
And
got
hit
it.
return. And then above that, you can type in what you like.
Ooh, the only thing is though, is I would want if it said congratulations, you made it, I'd want it to be like text that was really small, like smaller than this. And if I put it in the same field, wouldn't it automatically be like really big like this?
Yes and no. The simple way would be to go with, let me go ahead and come out of sharing your screen for me. I'm going to go ahead and share
Okay.
mine.
Sure. Let me get out of here, and just close and stop sharing. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally. Let me go ahead and go in here and
I'm hoping that helped everybody and not just me.
it did. It did. Let me share. Okay. All right. So the basics, we click edit content, we click column 1. Let me see. I believe there's a way to add in a field. How do you do that? Oh, it might be in layout.
Would it be add a new column?
That's not
Where
what
you
I
were a
want to
second
do.
ago?
That's not what I want to do here. Add a new element. Add a new element to column. is what I'm looking for.
Ah, I
Okay.
love it.
So here, this is your answer. Add a new element to column, and you can choose what that is, and then you can move it around.
Ooh, I am so happy that you told us this.
I forgot
That
for a
is
sec where that was.
huge.
Yeah, it's good, right?
It's fantastic because that really gives us flexibility and creativity to add whenever we need to add something. And I would never have figured that out.
You want to get fancier, you can click here. This might help what you were looking for a little bit. I know I said I wasn't going to get into layout, but maybe this is easy enough to just do. You can also click here and align it left, center, or right. See how this particular element is moving now.
Beautiful. I just discovered that this morning about if when you click on the gear that you can like adjust the font size and the actual font and all that stuff, because I didn't even know you could do that until this morning.
Yeah, it's a little hidden in there. I'll totally give you. But yeah, that is how you can adjust stuff.
Woo!
The other thing to know, the other thing I want to show you while we're here is that when you hit the / key, you'll pull up a menu that can also let you customize text a bit. And I said there were kind of a couple answers to making it bigger or smaller. You can also make text bigger by using these section headers. And the other really, really important thing to know is that you've got your tokens here. So this is where you can put in a personalized hi to your student by their first name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that.
So again,
That's really
hit
cool.
the / editor menu gives you all kinds of options. You can even add images and GIFs and all kinds of stuff. So that is how you play with that.
Fancy.
Is that feeling better?
Oh my God, so much better. Just that little add element, because I saw that you can add a column and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, how do you
Yeah,
do this?
it's a little hidden in there. I'll give you. It's yeah. I hear you. It's a lot.
Oh, thank
It's a
you,
lot
thank
to
you,
find your
thank
way
you.
around.
Holy cow, you just made my day so much easier.
Yay, I'm so happy. Awesome.
Yay.
Thank
I
you
wish
for
I
the
could wave to you
questions.
live, but my video's not on.
I'll see your I feel your wave. Good to see you, Heather.
Thank you, darling.
All right, let me hop back over to Kelly.
Hey, thanks so much. I forgot to ask one, and I hope it's a really
Yeah.
quick question. Free. How do you make a course free? When you go into the pricing structure, when I went through the video, it didn't say anything about free. And I was like, do I just delete it altogether? Do I not add it?
Delete it altogether.
Delete it altogether.
If you don't want, where'd you go? Delete it altogether if you don't want the students to have to enter a credit card, because that will delete the credit card from the order
Okay.
form. And obviously
Okay.
for a free course, you don't want them intimidated by even seeing a credit card field. So
Got it.
Xing it out, but you also have options like to create 100% discount coupon if you only want to give it for free to some people and not others.
Got it. Okay. That's
Can you
brilliant.
repeat that? Because I missed it. I mean, I was listening the whole time, but I just didn't follow it for whatever reason.
Totally. Okay, if you want to make a course free,
Mm-hmm.
if you want it free for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
then under payments, click the X here to totally delete payments.
I heard exit out. So that's like that little garbage trash can or whatever.
Yeah. So that's what you
Got
want to
it.
do if you want it free for everyone. And that means that no credit card field will appear on the order form. If you want it free for some people, put in a price and then create a coupon to give to people.
And Rachel, then I'm assuming in the custom form area, or I think is it step 5, you wouldn't do there's that one for the order form. You would still do that. It'll just have the name, email, that kind of thing, but it won't include the credit card info there.
Exactly.
Okay, that's brilliant.
X this out completely, and it will only ask for name, email, and I think you can ask for their phone and their address if you want to, or at least their phone if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. All right, let's go with Hamilton, and then we will see if we're ready to wrap up. How's it going?
Thank you. It's going good. You know what? I just had I have 2 questions, but you'll probably be able to answer them lickety split. Marisa has this 5-day lead magnet. And I want to make a course based on that 5-day lead magnet. It's a totally different course. The formatting that she has of the 5-day lead magnet, that's what I want to do. How do I do that? That's one thing. And the other thing is I have a couple of people that I want to test the course before I launch it. do I put them in as test students, or I remember a while ago they were supposed to go in the back door or something like that, and well, I
Mhm.
need them to test ahead of time because I am going to charge for the course, and they're experts in this field, so I wanted to make sure that I had my stuff together before I put it out there. So that's the two things I wanted to do. I wanted to simulate what she has when it comes to the 5-day lead magnet.
Okay, so
but or my product. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I just sent you a help doc for how to just add a student into your course. It's real
Thank-
simple. You'll just add them in and they are immediately in your course. And what's the specific question about how you want to set up your lead magnet or your course?
Well, it's not a lead magnet. I wanted
Your
to
course?
I wanted to use her formatting. She has a mini course that's 5 days. I want to
Okay.
do a mini course when it comes to my subject is being a senior executive servant, and
Okay.
that's my course. And I want to use a 5-day thing to get them to learn that template on how to do it. So I want to do it in a 5-day format, and then I'm going to expand it. This is like a mini course for me initially, and then I want to make it bigger. But right now, I like the way Marissa had done her 5-day lead magnet. So I want to do something similar when it comes to making my course. You
Awesome.
understand? Make it 5 days. I don't want to make it a month, 2 months, and things like that. I just want to make it 5 days, and then get feedback on from people and see how I can expand it. Because I know there's much more content that I want to put in it, but I want to do the basic stuff in it. So how do I
Fantastic.
how do I simulate her template? That's what I'm trying to say. How do I do
I
that?
would need to know more specifically what that meant, but the simple answer is you create a course with 5 trainings and probably drip it out over 5 days.
Okay. And then you were saying about so the test student, I don't want to charge anybody for this, the people that are reviewing the course. So the link that you gave me, that's gonna show me how to have them as a test student, and they wouldn't be charged anything, correct? Okay.
Correct.
So test student and reviewing the course is the same thing. Is that the same thing?
As
Be a
far as I
review
know,
of-
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Because I
Yeah.
remember a while ago, months ago, it was, you'd have to put them in the back door. You'd have to add their email in, and then they would be able to view the course with me adding them as adding their email in. So
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. You're just going to add their email and that will add them to the course.
okay. And then how do I take their email out when it's time to launch and everything? Or do I launch in a different way?
You don't need to take their email out. I mean, there isn't any reason you would have to take their email out necessarily.
Okay. So they'll have access to it even after I've updated with their changes or with their suggested changes and everything.
Yeah, if you don't want them to, you can
Hard
delete
task.
them, but yeah, there's no reason you would need to take them out necessarily.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
That is, I have a flow desk and a landing page. How do I get that flow desk and landing page to be linked to the course? Right now, I have a lead magnet on the landing page.
Mhm.
And then eventually I want to have the that landing page linked to this course that I'm creating, right? The course that I'm creating. How do
Mhm.
I do that?
Simplest way is to go to step 6 of your course and get a link for the order form. And on your page, wherever they're purchasing, you'll pop the link for the order form.
Okay. Is there a little video or something like that on how to do that? Or is it real easy for me
It's
to do?
real easy. You're literally going to go to, where did my screen go? You're literally going to go to step 6.
Okay.
You're going to open it up. You're going to find the link for your order form and you're going to copy that link.
I'm gonna take a screenshot if I could real quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's in step
Thank you.
6,
Okay. Step 6. And then order form. Okay.
order form.
Copy link. Okay.
Copy
All
link.
right, cool. That, you know what, that does make sense now.
Makes sense, yeah.
I was overthinking.
Basically, you just need, we do it. Basically, you just need them to have somewhere to click to go to purchase. Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Thank you
awesome.
for your patience.
Thanks, Hamilton.
only
No,
thing
not at
about-
all.
The only thing about the link to the order form, it looks very complex. Like there's a lot of characters, and unless someone could like literally copy it, like in other words, if you had it on an advertisement or something, like if it just said go to this website, you would be able to go to the website and then click on something to get to that order form. But you know what I mean? Because it's like super long.
This is a generic course title for my test course. First thing to know is I could have titled this how I wanted. So I could
Okay.
have a title that makes more sense. But in most landing pages, you're usually going to have like a button or something for them to click. And generally people would click on a button. And when you're setting up your landing page and saying, hey, go here for my amazing course, you would create a button and they would click and they would go there.
Hyperlink.
When you
yeah.
build that button, you just put in this link. In most or many cases, students aren't necessarily going to see that direct link.
Yeah, it's a hyperlink.
So it'll say like, excuse me, to activate or to get this course, click here or something. Like, so it's like an embedded link, so it doesn't show you the URL. It just says something simple. But then for them to get to that page, they would have to go to, I'm like thinking also, should we integrate this with like our email provider as well?
You're making it more complicated than it needs to be.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
You're right on the money.
Basically, they got to click on a link to go to an order form. But in many or most cases, students aren't actually going to see a link because very often, if we're talking about creating a landing page in an outside system, very often they're going to click on a button. When I, as the admin, am creating my little landing page, I'll be building a button and my tool will say, great, where should this button go when they click it? And I'll put in this link. That's it.
Got it. Would you recommend us putting that link on our website? Like maybe we could put something like, hey, get this free expiring mini course on the website and then click this link and then they would go to Xperiencify and then they could get it. Is that what you would recommend?
That's absolutely a great option. I mean, depends
Oh my
on
God,
the
I
whole
love
flow of your
that. I'm
business.
doing that
but yeah.
today.
Yay, I love it. And
Well,
yeah,
not
and
really.
by the
I
way,
have to
Heather,
finish the course first.
to your point, we can make this much prettier, or at least a little prettier. What do you want to call our course?
We could call it what Murray said, Confidence Constellation, just for fun.
It's got to be something unique, but
Oh, I like that. Thank you, Rachel.
now it's going to be prettier. It's not doing it yet, but you get my point.
Yeah,
Cool?
that's
Okay.
cool. And where did you put that? When you put Heather's amazing course, where'd you put that?
Step 1. Oops, did it not save for me? It didn't save for me. I didn't save it.
Oh, that's another question. Like, sometimes I see the save button and sometimes I don't. Does it automatically save it or how's that work?
If there is a save button, you need to click the save button. I just went too fast and didn't. But this option has a save button, so yes, I have to click it or it won't be saved.
But I mean, sometimes when we're in the page builder, like the only button I see is the upper right that says close. If you close, does it automatically save it, was my question.
No, when you are in the page builder, you do have to save your changes. I'll show you where. After you, let's make some changes.
Oh, we need this.
So I made changes, I clicked close, and I'm going to save changes right here.
Okay.
Cool.
I think you just saved us a whole bunch of time, Rachel. Because what if we make all these
Awesome.
changes and then we don't know to click save and then they're gone the next time we log in? It's like, oh my God, where'd all those changes go that I just worked on for the last 2 hours?
The worst, the worst. Awesome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, how we doing? We good for the moment? Got some stuff to work on?
Oh, I did ask one question about the student who asked about the Evergreen course. It had something to do with stacking. It kind of flew over my head. So is there a quick statement you could say? We don't want to keep you on forever.
Can you repeat the question?
It was something about how do you set up an Evergreen course, and it was something to do with stacking, and she's maybe it was Kelly, I'm not sure, but do you remember?
I remember talking about evergreen courses, but I would need a more specific question to be able to help.
Whichever student said it, you can just pop in.
I asked, what does evergreen mean? I didn't know what
Evergreen means it's available on an ongoing basis rather than a cohort just going through certain dates and all going through it together. Evergreen is usually you've got it up somewhere on your website for sale and they can click on it anytime and they can purchase and it makes you money and it changes their life and everything is awesome.
And
I actually answered that question in the chat for you, Hamilton, but this was a very specific question about how you set up an Evergreen course in Xperiencify. And I think Kelly might have asked it.
I would need a more specific question.
It was something about stacking. I think it was about like the release and that's what it was about. It was about like when you release the content and how you set that up. Does that make sense?
You would probably use the X days option to set up an evergreen course.
What's the X days option?
It means that after 7 days, my next training is going to get released. And after 14 days, my following training is going to get released. And after 21 days, my next training is going to get released and so on.
Got it. So in other words, it will be the same for each student, regardless of when they join, which is what Evergreen is about.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what would it have been if it wasn't that?
By date is one option that's common.
Ah, I got it. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Where's the link
Yeah.
to the recordings? Is that in our email or something? The link to
It's
like
in the document for open office hours in the help center.
Thank you.
You have been so helpful. I
will
can't
have
even
this
tell
one up
you.
for a bit. I'm so glad, Heather. Thank you so much for being here. Glad that worked.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys, let's go ahead and wrap up for today. And I'm looking forward to seeing your stuff. And I'll have the recording for this up probably in an hour or so if you want to review anything.
Oh, I did have one more question. I'm pain in the ass.
Go ahead. Go for it,
I
Heather.
always have one more question. I have 2 courses and I only published one just because like, I think I was trying to do something and support said, you got to hit publish. I'm like, okay. But then when I go to the marketplace, the other one's on there and that one hasn't even been published. So I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. I think I basically just put in a title for the other one. Yet that's the one that's showing up on the marketplace. So I don't know if it's a glitch in your system or if it's something I did, more likely.
Go to the help center and
Okay.
search for customizing the marketplace.
Mm.
And that will tell you exactly how to show exactly what you want on your marketplace.
Help customizing the marketplace. Got it. Thank you.
I have a question. This is my first time joining this and I'm learning. And today was an excellent session for my first time and I've learned a lot. And now I know I need to go do a test as a student and maybe a lot of my questions will be answered. Because right now I have everyone going to the marketplace, but it looks like I need to change some navigation information on my homepage for the course. One of my questions is, if you're looking at your screen right now, where it says training contents, under available blocks, training contents. Is there any way to have a collapsible? Like it, and what I mean by collapsible is on the back end dashboard. When you're adding in your course content, it's collapsible, so you can see the name of the course and then the 10 different modules. Is there a way to have that?
No, and we totally don't recommend it.
Okay.
What we recommend is using the next up training block, which shows them just their next 1 or 2 or 3 trainings. And
Okay,
that will take them just to where they need to go. This is one of the things that we've found actually gets people completing the course instead of getting stuck and bogged down in a course.
okay,
Is you just give them the next bit of exactly what they need to do, rather than
Okay.
giving them a laundry list of stuff to do, which frankly, nobody wants.
and that goes under the single training page?
No, I'm on the homepage right now.
Homepage, okay,
Because we want to show them right up front on the homepage.
Okay.
We want to show them, woohoo, you made it. Welcome to the course. You're super excited. Here's your goals. This is what you're going to get accomplished. Here's a couple easy action steps that you can get some momentum with right away. And then
Right.
boom, here you go. And you're into your training. And that's what we
Okay.
want them to see every time they log in. We want them to remember, oh yeah, I'm excited. Oh yeah, I'm making this happen. I've already done that. And here's what's next.
Okay, yeah, because the person I'm working with doesn't want to do the goals and he does not want to do the first steps.
No worries.
He just wants
Delete
to
this
go straight
block.
to the training.
Magic.
Yes, okay.
There you go.
So each time they log in, they go directly to this page.
Yes.
Is what happens. Okay, all right. Then I will have to make sure. I'll do the test and see what happens. Okay,
Awesome.
thank you. This was
You
great
are
today.
so
Thank you.
welcome. Awesome. What a bunch. Thank you guys. Thank you for all of the questions. And I will pop the recording up shortly.
Thank you
I'll
for
see
your
you soon.
patience. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Rachel.
You're super
you.
welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.